Find out what happened while you were at work. Kevin Collins, afternoons from 3 to 6 on 1340 WJOL.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
It's the Kevin Collins Show on 1340 WJOL. Every Monday, we talk about the weekend box office. Big releases, bad ones, what the top 5 are, anything that happened out there. And, of course, we do reviews as well if we have any. Evan, what did the weekend look like at the box office?
All right, Kevin, here we go. The weekend box office, June 12th through the 14th, 2015. Number 5, Pitch Perfect 2, $6 million. Number 4, Insidious Chapter 3, $7.3 million. Number 3, San Andreas, $11 million. Number 2, Spy at $16 million. And number 1, no surprise here, Jurassic World, the surprise, $204.6 million. Second biggest opening weekend in U.S. box office history. Biggest worldwide opening ever, as it did over $500 million.
All right. Did anybody have any clue that this would have that big opening?
No. Analysts were projecting around 115 to 120 million. No one saw this coming.
Oh, okay. Why? Why did it do that?
I think one of the big reasons it did it was the original Jurassic Park, which came out in 1994. And I have said before that is the movie of my generation. I love Star Wars more than Jurassic Park. I love Indiana Jones more than I love Jurassic Park. But as far as the seminal film of my young childhood that came out during my childhood, it has to be Jurassic Park. The size, the scope, the originality, the groundbreaking technology that was used, the talent involved. It just had these series of events that came together and created this phenomenon. And people have been craving for that feeling again. They did Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World with Jeff Goldblum, which was as successful but not as well liked. Then they did Jurassic Park 3, which was a complete and utter failure in my opinion. And then you were waiting for this fourth installment when they said, we're going to do it. And not only are we going to do it, but we're going to do it as big as we did the first one. We're going to invest as many resources. We're not going to do it just to make money. We're going to do it to try to top what the first one did. People were kind of looking for that size of spectacle again. And when it came out, the people responded in ways that I don't even think the studio saw.
You said the second largest opening in box office history. What holds the title?
The Avengers.
And if I that was a June opening as well. Was that
May?
Oh, that was May. Okay. All right. So a huge worldwide, almost 512 million. Have they updated the numbers yet? Because I know they were still waiting for some Sunday numbers, and they thought that it's possible that it could pass the Avengers, but I know I think there were some Sunday numbers they were still waiting to see.
We actually probably won't know until about Tuesday or Wednesday officially.
All right, so a big weekend. Now, I know that you had talked about going to see this. Did you make it out to see it?
I did see it.
All right, let's hear. I'm curious to hear. Let me tell you before you get into the review, I loved the first Jurassic Park. The other two were okay, but for me, just looking at the premise of this, it's kind of like they're just going to rehash what I've already seen. I really don't have much of a desire to see it, but now seeing these numbers, I may, but I'm curious to see what you thought.
All right, so Jurassic World. This is 22 years after the events of Jurassic Park. Ilse Neubauer now features a fully functioning dinosaur theme park, Jurassic World, as originally envisioned by John Hammond. After 10 years of operations and visitor rates declining in order to fulfill a corporate mandate, a new attraction is created to re-spark visitors' interest, which backfires horribly.
Ooh, sounds familiar a little bit.
It does sound very familiar. And seeing as this is the fourth Jurassic Park movie, I thought I would do 4 reasons, my top 4 reasons why Jurassic World is not a good movie.
All right.
Because it's not a good movie.
Okay.
It's not a bad movie. It's just a very unoriginal film. So I'll run through here some of the reasons I ended up not liking Jurassic World. Number 1 is the stereotypical characters. Every hackneyed premise you could think of as far as character development goes is in this film. You have Chris Pratt, who was in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was another big box office surprise. He's probably the next big star on the big screen. He's fantastic in this film. But he plays a rebel who plays by his own rules. Oh, we've never seen that, Kevin, have we?
All right.
A rebel who doesn't follow the rules. We have Bryce Dallas Howard, who plays the manager of the theme park. She plays a woman who has time for work, but no time for her family. Ooh, a workaholic. Never seen that before. We have 2 brothers in the film, which is one of the subplots, Bryce Dallas Howard's 2 nephews. And guess what, Kevin? The older one and the younger one, they don't get along.
Really?
The older one thinks the younger one is a dork, if you can believe that. So we also have Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays the corporate stooge with ulterior motives that we learn later on in the film. A corporate stooge who has evil plans for the dinosaurs? Oh, I didn't see that coming. We have B.D. Wong, who plays the scientist who justifies his reasons for playing God. Oh, a scientist playing God in the movies? I haven't seen that since, I don't know, the original Frankenstein in 1932. It's just... every character I've seen 1,000 times before. There was nothing where I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. They took that character and made it that. That was what was so interesting about the first Jurassic Park, was the fact that you had someone like Ian Malcolm, played by the brilliant Jeff Goldblum, was a character you didn't really see. He was a scientist who dealt in chaos theory, and he was kind of smarmy, but he was charming at the same time. And you hadn't seen a character like that. You're like, I think he cares about these people, but it could backfire. He could not being a good guy. Is he good? Is he bad? What's his morals like? You had Sam Neill, who played the lead paleontologist, Alan Grant, who was kind of fascinated by dinosaurs and not that fascinated by people. And yet, over the course of the film, he learned more about people and less about dinosaurs as the film went on. It kind of played with the arcs that we normally see in action films. This was just the arc that you normally see in an action film laid out before you, as done by a million other action movies before it. So number 2, an unimaginative story. InGen, the company, they tried opening Jurassic Park once. It failed. So they said, hey, let's do it again. Why they would do it again and risk the $1 billion in the future of the company is beyond me, but okay. They decide... and we learned this very early on in the film, so this is not a plot twist, that InGen's security department, their defense contractors, they want to use these animals, Kevin, and they want to turn them into weapons.
Oh.
An evil corporation wants to turn something it created into a weapon? No, Kevin, I won't buy this. No, I've never seen this in cinema before. Please, I mean, we've seen this in the Alien films. We've seen this in countless action films. A corporation creates something. RoboCop, they create something that you think is there to protect you, but in the long run, they just want to turn it into a weapon to make more money. Like, I don't need to see that plot anymore. Why the evil corporation line every time? Like, I know it can be fun to kick on corporations. We do it on the show from time to time. Like, but at some point, could we have a corporation that actually has like morals and values and does right by its consumers? Like the idea of, the corporation you thought was good the whole time is really evil. No, I'm stunned. This is only the 4th time they've tried to do this with dinosaurs. Why wouldn't they try to do it again? Just unimaginative from that aspect. Really disappointed that they went with the evil corporation storyline. Number 3, corny dialogue. Really corny dialogue. Jake Johnson, he's probably best known for his role in the sitcom on Fox, The New Girl. He plays kind of the comic relief in the film because you can't make an action film anymore. We now have this mandate in Marvel, and their universe has kind of created this where you can't have a serious action movie anymore.
Yeah, they got to be these dumb one-liners. And
you have to have the plucky comic relief.
Yeah.
So Jake Johnson, he plays the guy in the control room who's kind of communicating with Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt as everything's going on in the theme park. So he's kind of telling them, hey, this is what's going on, or this dinosaur just got out of this enclosure. But something serious will happen in the film, and within 120 seconds, it's going to cut to Jake Johnson in the control room where he'll make a one-liner. An example. Bryce Dallas Howard comes into the control room at the beginning of the film. She wants to know how many people are in the park and what's going on. And she goes, are you wearing a Jurassic Park t-shirt? Because the logo says Jurassic World in the same font as Jurassic Park, but instead of the red famous background, it's blue. Well, he's wearing the iconic Jurassic Park logo with the red background, the T-Rex skeleton. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, I bought it on eBay. She goes, people died during that tragedy. He goes, I know, and it's sad and all, but let's be honest. The first park was better than anything that followed it. I mean, the original is always the best. And it's like, you see what they're doing, Kevin? Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. They're actually making a commentary on movies. Like, the original is always going to be good, so there's nothing we can do to please everyone. So we need to just forge ahead and blaze our own path. Yeah, I didn't need the dialogue to tell me that. I was aware very early on this film was not going to be better than the original Jurassic Park. Number 4, the obnoxious product placement. Like,
oh, really?
Obnoxious. At one point, they're talking about the new dinosaur. And the way they describe the new dinosaur, the Adonis Rex, who's going to be the dinosaur that breaks out and causes all the chaos in the park. And the way they explain the dinosaur is they explain it to a group of investors. who are going to purchase the attraction and have their name on it. And at one point she says, well, there we go. We have it. The Verizon presents. Like, really? And he's like, and at one point Jake Johnson goes, do we have to put a corporate logo on everything, man?
Oh, a little humor too. Huh?
They're making humor saying, product placement. See, it's funny.
But
and
it's
that
okay,
would be
we
funny.
do it.
That would have been funny if, except every time someone's in a car, they didn't show me the big chrome Mercedes logo on front for a second or two. Every time someone gets in a car, it pans across the front and you see that big Mercedes logo. You want to know why? Mercedes is running commercials for Jurassic World trying to show off their new automobiles that were featured in the movie. So every time someone's in a car, you see the Mercedes logo and they're talking about Coke and they're talking about that product and that product. So you can't make jokes about product placement and then at the beginning of the film and then for the next 2 hours do nothing but show me product placement throughout the entire movie. I don't need it. I don't need it, Kevin. So those are my 4 reasons. And number 5, an extra, a bonus reason, not enough Chris Pratt. He's so talented. He's so talented in this film, even though he's playing the stereotypical character who plays by his own rules, that you don't see him for the first 25 minutes. He's the star of the movie. Why is he not? Because they're obsessed with the storyline of Bryce Dallas Howard and her nephews are coming to the park. She hasn't seen them in 7 years, and she's trying to reconnect with her family. No offense, that's boring. I want to see the hero of the film because he's going to be the hero of the film. Chris Pratt is the star, and he's not even the lead in the movie. He's not even the lead. It's all about Bryce Dallas Howard and her family. He just pops in occasionally and saves the day. It's like, I want to follow that guy around more. He's more interesting. He's a better actor than everyone else in this movie. Please show me him. I like him more.
The thing that the original Jurassic Park did, and again, the second and third, I don't even remember. I think I saw them, I don't remember. But the first one, the thing that it did is it showed the terror without seeing the terror. You know what I'm saying? The face, you could tell there was a big dinosaur above, but looking at the face and the anticipation, they did such a great job of planning the anticipation and being ultimately scared. Like, I know there's a dinosaur over my shoulder right now. It's going to grab me. They did a great job of that. And the other thing, Jeff Goldblum, did he die in one of the first 3?
No.
Did they reference him at all in this movie?
They don't reference anyone from the original films. John Hammond is the only one that's referenced, who was, of course, played by the great Richard Attenborough, and he has a statue.
All right.
And part of one of the attractions in the park is like the Hammond Innovation Center. And at one point, someone says, "John Hammond won't save you this time," because they've got to be stern with the scientist who played God. He won't be there this time to save you. They don't say why, but they don't really reference anyone from the original films. It wouldn't have made sense to reference it. There's already far too many Jurassic Park references in the films where they're like, remember that from the first one? Where you're like, okay, enough. I saw the first one. I love the first one. Stop reminding me of a better movie during your movie. It doesn't make sense. It would be like in the new Batman movie if they constantly reference, hey, remember when Christopher Nolan made his films? Yeah, we like those movies more. Stop telling us about it.
So you say $512 million worldwide with a question mark, and
I'm not surprised people went and saw it because it felt like it was going to have that wonder and awe factor, but it just didn't. It just didn't have that. There was something, Kevin, about that first movie. The way it took that story and the way it presented it, and they made you care about those characters. And then when the danger took place, you're sitting on the edge of your seat going, I don't know who's going to get out of this. Are they going to make it? What's going to happen? They tried a similar format where you spend a lot of time with the characters before something happens, but the characters are so stereotypical and so two-dimensional that when the terror does happen, you're like, wow, that's a really good special effect. Rather than, oh my God, well, are they going to get eaten by a dinosaur? You're not on Jurassic Park. You were with the characters in the throes of fear.
Absolutely.
In Jurassic World, you're watching impressive special effects chase actors around who are portraying scared people.